Fox News, unbelievably, is going to pretend that this killer in Norway, Breivik, is not a conservative. Watch Brian Kilmeade.
Now, Breivik has admitted to the attacks, but claims he was on a crusade to stop radical Muslims among his much of his rantings. So why is the mainstream media so quick to paint Breivik as a right-wing extremist?
Why is the mainstream media quick to paint him that way? Well, let's ask Police Chief Roger Anderson from Norway, who says, quote, "What we know is that he is a right-wing and Christian fundamentalist." That might have been a clue. Furthermore, he says, he himself says, Breivik says, that his manifesto is, quote, "a conservative revolution." That might give you a clue as well that he might be on the right wing. And then he has quotes like this: "The European tree of liberty will be refreshed by the blood of our patriots and of the Marxist tyrants. The civil war will last several decades, but will succeed." Again, the tree of liberty being refreshed, that is some of the right-wing terminology that we have heard here. Now, originally it was a Jefferson quote and there was nothing wrong with it, but the right wing has adopted it to justify bringing guns to rallies, and Breivik has used it to justify actually shooting people. All right, now what Fox News does next is they bring on a guy who I don't know what his religion is, but he is obviously Middle Eastern. They make it seem like, well, we brought on a Muslim expert here who's going to tell us it's okay. And watch.
Whatever has written in his 1,000 pages, which I've read mostly at least, has nothing to do with his behavior as a psychopath. He could have been a Marxist, extreme left-wing, right-wing psychopath killer, or even fundamentalist. In this case, what he has done is to say he represents the fundamentalist European thinking, meaning he wants the Europe that existed in the 19th century. He criticizes everybody. He criticizes the Nazis, the Marxists, the capitalist, the right wing, the left wing. He wants to build an ideology on his own.
I love it. By the way, this is Dr. Waleed Ferris. They bring him on to say, oh, no, this guy's just a lunatic. Well, then when the Muslims act, well, that is an ideology, and we have to all hate the Muslims, and we all have to be prepared for the Islamic Revolution. But when a Christian fundamentalist acts that way, well, he could have been anybody. He's a lunatic. He could have been a Christian. He could have been a Muslim. Except he wrote, "Celebrate us, the martyrs of the conservative revolution, for we will soon dine in the kingdom of heaven." Again, sounds like Al-Qaeda, but a Christian fundamentalist. He could have been anything, but he isn't. He's a Christian fundamentalist. By the way, it would be okay if Fox News did the same thing when there were Muslim terrorists. If they came out and said, look, come on, the guy's a lunatic. For example, the guy who shot everybody at Fort Hood, right? I mean, who shoots their fellow soldiers? That's crazy, right? The guy's a lunatic. He could have been a Muslim. He could have been a Christian. Is that what you heard on Fox News? That's not what I heard on Fox News. They're like, Muslim terrorists, they're coming for us. But when it's a Christian terrorist, well, it could have been anybody. Dr. Waleed continues with Kilmeade.
You know, and Congressman Peter King immediately gets a call and they say, see what you're doing, essentially, see what you're doing by having these look at what forcing Muslims to go to become extremists in the U.S. You're forcing this kind of behavior that happened in Norway. Are you surprised by that here in the U.S. we're looking to deflect the attention?
I think the European governments, and this is a warning for us here and in Canada and the West in general, if we don't engage in a debate, if we don't identify, if things are always gray, what happened is that the mainstream would be going away from the discussion, and who takes over? Guys like this guy. So it's not good not to debate. It's good to debate so that the extremists won't have an agenda.
Do you see what they did there? They turned it on its head. They say, well, if you don't debate it like Peter King is saying, by the way, Peter King's hearings are on investigating all Muslim Americans to see if they have terrorist ties. He says, well, I don't know. I mean, Islam is an ideology, so we got to investigate all these Muslims, find out which ones are guilty and which ones are innocent. I'm just opening up a debate. This guy's saying, well, if you don't do that, you'll have these killers who are killing Muslims. How does that make any sense? No, if you antagonize everybody and say the Muslims are coming, you're going to get somebody like this.
We are wearing awesome t-shirts today. It's not as obvious as it should be.
Yeah, this is...
It's a matador. I wanted a shirt that looked cute and was comfortable, and this was it. But unfortunately, the logo isn't large enough. It's very silky and soft. Do you feel the softness?